Hey, welcome everybody to another edition of Doctor in Your House. We have three great topics today. First, amazing weight loss. Yes, there is a drug study that came out that you won't believe. This drug that I'm going to talk about is already approved for diabetes, not approved for weight loss yet, but this study could easily get the drug approved, and I want to let you know about it. Number two, there's just an unbelievable case that's going on. It's an HPV lawsuit. HPV is the cause of cervical cancer. And folks, you won't believe this one. This is off the bell-shaped curve. I'm going to let you know about that in a moment. And then finally, frustration with inflation. This is a serious issue. Inflation is going up now about an 8.6% pace. I don't even remember this going on since the 70s, but I'm not going to get political here. We're going to show you this through magic. So stay tuned for a great magic trick as well. These are the topics we are covering. And at the end of the video, listen, make some comments, subscribe. Want to hear what you have to say? I really will answer you. So the new name of this drug is called tirzepatide. And actually, it works great for diabetes. It's kind of like semaglutide, Ozempic, these kinds of drugs which are used for diabetes, but it also causes remarkable weight loss. I mean, this really rivals bariatric surgery. 95% of the patients that were on this drug lost 5% of their body weight. So if you were 200 pounds and you lost 5%, that's 10 pounds. But that's not what the majority lost. The majority lost 22.5% of their body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, that's more like, wow, 44 to 50 pounds of weight loss. In fact, at the maximum dose of 15 milligrams, there were lots of people that lost 50 pounds. Now, this drug isn't on the shelves yet. It works in two ways. It stimulates the brain and reduces hunger. It also works on the stomach to make you feel full easier. And this study came out in the SURMOUNT-1 trial. It actually is out already for diabetes, and it's produced by Eli Lilly, and it's called Mounjaro, and I think it's Mojaurno. But anyway, so this is a drug that is approved for diabetes, but also works for obesity alone. This is a game changer. And here's another interesting point. If you do a gastrojejunal bypass, in other words, you do gastric bypass, where essentially the stomach is connected further down the intestine for surgical weight loss, people lose the same amount of weight. So maybe this drug will replace that. The neat thing about bariatric surgery is that cancer, according to a new study, is now reduced by losing this kind of weight. I would believe the same thing would happen if you lost it with the drug. I will just make this clear because I've said it in several other videos. 98% of people cannot lose weight and keep it off on their own. I am one of them. I am on a drug that is given daily. It's called Saxenda, liraglutide, that I've lost. The average weight loss with this drug is probably 10 to 15 pounds as opposed to this new one. But nevertheless, I've lost 22 pounds and I've kept it off. I'm on it for life. My secret report is on my website, which is can be found at the bottom of my channel banner. You can just click on it and you can get this weight loss report to see how you receive these drugs, and you can get them from Canada, a pharmacy that I have vetted, and get this at a tremendous savings. This drug is not on the shelves yet. Tirzepatide is not on the shelves yet, except as a diabetes drug. And I really think that, unfortunately, the Medicare patients are in a bad boat here because the discounts for these drugs are mainly for a commercial insurance. However, again, I am on Saxenda, and while this drug isn't as good as tirzepatide, it does cause significant weight loss, and you can obtain it cheaply. So I want to just give you another weight loss tip and reinforce some other factors. And now we're going to go on to an amazing story. Folks, this is one of the craziest stories that I have ever heard. It rivals the person who spilled coffee on themselves and got burns and sued McDonald's because the coffee was too hot. I'm sure there's two sides to every case, but this one blew me away. Let me just go over it. First of all, and you can also, maybe there's a lesson to be learned from this too. HPV is the human papilloma virus. This is one of the most common causes of cervical cancer, and it is preventable with a pap smear and or an HPV test, which should begin at the age of 21. At any rate, the HPV vaccine is out. It's been out for years. It's given in two separate doses at ages 11 and 12. I would emphasize that daughters really, and even sons, should receive this vaccine early on so that when they do become sexually active, they are protected against this disease, because it can also cause penile cancers as well. And then finally, if it gets in the mouth, and you know how that can happen, it can actually cause cancer of the throat or the cheek. So this is important to be vaccinated. But let me tell you the story. You won't believe this. A lady gets in a car, and she gets in the car with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, unbeknownst to her, has the HPV virus. They have sexual intercourse in the car. And what happens? Who knows? I don't know if she got HPV or not, but let's assume that she did, because it's a very easily transmittable disease and condoms were not worn. So she sued for $5.2 million, but not the guy, because he wasn't the deep pockets. The boyfriend knew about this and didn't tell her, which was really mean, but she ended up suing Geico, the insurance company, for $5.2 million and won. How? You know, I still don't understand this. Geico could have just defended the guy and would have had the ability to appeal this, but instead it went to arbitration, and Geico claimed this is not under the coverage of our policy. I think they're right from the limited amount that I've read. When you have body insurance in a car, if you get hit, let's say you're in a motor vehicle accident and you sustain injuries, you've got insurance that covers you for bodily injury. How is sexual intercourse related to a motor vehicle accident? I don't know. Maybe there's something in the clause that says any kind of bodily injury sustained in a car is fair game. I just don't get this. I think if a murder occurs in a car, is the car company going to be liable? If you check your sugar in a car and you find out for the first time you have diabetes, is the car company going to be liable? I like to be rational here. Lawsuits are fine. There's definitely an indication for them, but let's face it, the payday, this is like a lottery ticket, and I think Geico is stuck with this one. Don't believe that this can be appealed. And so what about the HPV vaccine? If you don't get it at 11 or 12, 3 doses, you're allowed to get it all the way up to age 26. I'm sorry, there's 2 doses if you're age 11 or 12, but if you get it later on, all the way up to age 26, it's 3 doses. You should also discuss with your doctor if you're between the ages of 27 and 45. This still may be a good idea as far as a vaccine to get. And again, that's a discussion between you and your doctor, and would have to be predicated on the chance of you getting HPV virus. So this is a little summary on HPV, as well as a bizarre lawsuit, which I still fail to understand, but maybe one of you in the audience can make sense of this. As you know, all of us, me included, are having frustration with inflation. And of course, I could give you my opinions on this, but I won't because it gets into politics. But only you can decide how to protect yourself. I can only say there's options with inflation-proof possible stocks. Talking to your financial planner is probably the best thing to do. Going to cash. There's a lot of things that you can do, but this is a magic trick. So I'm not talking politics. I'm not talking rational advice here. I got a $20 bill. Okay? This is your normal $20 bill. Actually, it's not. I just made it a little bit bigger so that you could see the bill and I could do the trick. Here's a pen. I'm going to take this pen and I'm going to poke a hole in my $20 bill. I want to make sure you can see this. So the hole is poked, and this is terrible. I mean, my God, I've taken a $20 bill and I poked a hole through the $20 bill. So, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, folks. Here's the pen. Here's the pen. And here's a $20 bill. But where's the hole? They say advanced science is really just magic. So if I showed this trick 200 years ago, people would have thought definitely it was magic, real magic, which is just advanced science. But today, of course, I am just an illusionist and that this really didn't happen. But I don't think I have to tell you that. There will be more magic. If you enjoyed this, definitely we'll do more. I just want to summarize on our next slide. Here we go. I want to thank everybody for listening and just give you a couple of reminders. Number one, please, if you have questions, just go ahead and make a comment. I'll get back to you. I'll answer you. Let's have a dialogue. If you have questions about weight loss, HPV, or anything in my videos, more than happy to answer it with the disclaimer that you got to talk to your doc. I know for some of you, I used to be your doc. I'm going to give you good information, but always before you implement any strategies, speak with your physician so that everybody's on the same page. Now, one thing I want to say is if you are interested in my weight loss pamphlet, there should be a little link in my banner here whereby you can just click on either my channel banner or on this banner, the little link for my website. And then finally, at the bottom of this is a subscribe button. Let me make this really important point. If you click subscribe, what does that mean? Are you going to get pestered every minute for the rest of your life? No, you're not even going to get another email regarding this unless you hit the notification button. But by prescribing, you do me a favor. What is that? You make me more popular on YouTube so I can reach more people with life-saving and good, solid, rational advice. And that's my goal. My mission is to help as many people with my remaining years that I can. And that's what I want to do. So subscribe for that reason. If you don't want to be bothered or you don't want to know when my next YouTube video is going to come out, you don't have to hit the notification button. So if you just hit subscribe, nothing else will happen except that I will have more subscribers, which is important to help the most people that I can. Now, I'm going to have other topics. If there's topics that you're interested in, feel free to suggest them in the commentary. It was great seeing you all. Going to try to keep these videos short but sweet, and I'll see you next week, but this time it'll be on the weekend instead of Monday because my back is back. Take care, everybody.